Meanwhile, to Iran and what we're going to do about that, Alireza Jafarzadeh is saying that, it comes back to just Iran and trusting Iran. That's the fact. And there's a lot of argument back and forth about the president saying the facts are that my opponents don't have the facts to state opposing this deal. But your view is that having worked and studied and monitored their work over these many years, you've heard them lie. You've seen them play some fast games, right?
Absolutely right, Neil. In fact, we exposed all the major nuclear sites of Iran that got the IAEA, that's International Atomic Energy Agency, triggered of those major sites in Natanz, Iraq, Fordo. In fact, all four pathways that Secretary Kerry said that they want to block leading to the bomb were exposed by the Iranian opposition. So we know what the mullahs...
Now, what do they do? When you hear that they are saying things like, all right, no Americans can be part of any of these inspection teams. Now, that, I guess, didn't shock me, but that means that who's ever going to come is going to come having to phone first. They just can't knock on a door and enter. But doesn't that afford them time to hide or move stuff?
Well, that's a key point that you just hit, Neil, because the most important factor in inspections is the surprise element. You just want to show up somewhere before they can actually hide things.
We can't do that. We have to give them notice.
But actually, under this agreement, it's guaranteed that at least 24 days of delay Iran can manage. And that's
24 days?
24 days. That's much more than you actually need to hide things, to remove things, to tamper evidence. In the past, every time the IAEA was delayed access to the sites in Iran, they cheated. So you have a history of cheating, and it's very simple for the Iranian regime to hide the evidence. They can remove all the tiles, all the floor, put a whole fresh new painting on the walls and get the IAEA there, and they wouldn't find any traces of enriched uranium. That's what happened in 2003. The main hall in Call Electric site, which the IAEA knew was used for enrichment, they had changed the whole thing. They couldn't find any evidence whatsoever.
Where did it go?
So that's why you need that element definitely. But I think one big flaw, Neil, is that this is a regime that is extremely vulnerable and weak internally, and that needs to be understood by the administration. That's what really brought the regime to the table. They were afraid of the consequences of the sanctions, especially political consequences, because there's a majority youth population in Iran who are very dissatisfied. That needs to be exploited.
Alireza, thank you very, very much, my friend. Good having you. I do want to remind you that the points that Ali raised there, that they bear repeating because these are basic facts. And I don't care whether you're left or right on this, whether you support this deal or don't support this deal. The fact is no Americans can be part of those inspection teams. The fact is we have 24 days to give them notice that we're coming to check said nuclear stockpiles. You think of what you could do in 24 days. I know when I was a kid, and if I got a call from my parents saying we're leaving from our trip a little early, and I was having a party at my house, not that I had friends or parties, but if I did, I knew I had a little time. The Iranians have lots of time. That's a fact.